Single one of us want to hear from you. I don't know how you got here, but you need to be up out of here by 5 o'clock.
This beautiful little girl is Kaylee Anthony. She was 2 years old when her life was taken from her.
According to the prosecutor, according to the evidence, they believed that Casey had used chloroform to knock her baby out and then duct taped her nose and her mouth.
Casey has now joined TikTok to try to reinvent her image.
Yes, our justice system did fail this sweet little girl because Casey Anthony should be behind bars.
While her body was sitting there in the woods by herself in a bag, this was her mother. You were out getting tattoos while she was missing. You were out partying while she was missing. You're out partying now.
Casey Anthony, guess what? We're digging a nice big ass hole for you right here. We just kind of want to see if you would get in it and measure for us. Make sure it's just the right depth for what we're looking for.
Okay, y'all, man. So this lady is on TikTok and everyone is mad at her right now. At first, I didn't know what was going on. I did a little research. We're about to go down a rabbit hole, so this is going to be a good one. So you want to go get your snacks, or go do what you got to do. This is about to be a good one. About to go down a rabbit hole. So this lady named Cassie Anthony, she murdered her daughter and now is back on TikTok, or she created a TikTok. I don't know, but she made a TikTok. I don't know how she can do that. In my opinion, I don't know how you can do something like that after, that's sick. But everyone on TikTok is mad at her right now, and we finna go down a rabbit hole right quick and see what happened, because I really don't know what happened, and some of y'all probably didn't know what happened. But let's get in here. Let's see what's going on.
Anthony wasn't sick the way she said she was when her daughter was unalive. And for 31 days, Casey Anthony didn't tell anybody about her daughter's disappearance. So I'm going to start this series called Cold Casey, where for the next 31 days, we're going to make sure everybody remembers that Casey is no advocate at all for the voiceless. Now, I know that technically this isn't a cold case, but as far as I'm concerned, as far as justice is concerned, it is absolutely a cold case. Kaylee hasn't gotten the closure she deserves, and the family and friends outside of Casey haven't gotten the closure they deserve. So in this series, I'm going to remind the public why she's unequivocally guilty. Starting with, like I said, she wasn't sick the way she said she was when Kaylee was unalived on June 16, 2008. How do I know this? Well, Casey claims that she was so sick that her father, while she was sleeping in a deep, deep sleep because she was so sick, her father came in there during the day and must have grabbed Kaylee and done something to her. Now, I'm sure you guys have had that sickness just like I have, where you're laying in bed during the daytime, so fatigued, so tired, so exhausted, and so sick that you can't help but to lay there and sleep and get some rest and drink some water. Tell me if what you're about to see are some things that you would do if you were that sick. Number one, here's a snapshot of all the outgoing and incoming calls to and from Casey's phone the day all of this happened. A large majority of which was before anything was known to have happened to Kaylee. I don't know about y'all, but when I'm that sick, my phone's on Do Not Disturb. Don't bother me. I'm not making any outgoing calls. And here's Casey's actual activity on June 16th when she was feeling terrible. She got on MySpace to research girls' costumes for her boyfriend Tony Lazzaro's nightclub events. She got on her AIM account and chatted with some people. And all throughout the morning and afternoon, mind you, she was supposed to be in such a deep sleep that George came in there and took Kaylee from her. She had assorted normal searches, calls, texts, AIMs, all done throughout that time period. She even went on a 37-minute phone call with her friend Amy. How many times do you talk for 37 minutes when you are feeling that sick? A 37-minute phone call when you're that sick. Get out of here. Can y'all let me know below if that ever happened to... I don't want to talk to anybody when I'm that sick. I'm like, call me tomorrow. Then later on, after George, her dad, had left, she went ahead and made a Google search looking for foolproof... that word. 1 minute later, she was on her MySpace account. She denies that this was her on the computer, as if George got on her MySpace account. And then around that same time, she talked to an ex-boyfriend. Yeah, she had a boyfriend talking to her ex-boyfriend, Jesse Grunn. She had a conversation with him, which he describes as abnormal. And she said during that call that she got a call from George, which was supposedly him letting her know that he took care of it. That's not true, but we'll definitely get there in these 31 days. After that, which I presume is around the time where she had actually already gone through with all of this stuff, she made a call to her boyfriend, Tony Lazzaro, and she made a lot of calls to her mom, Cindy. A lot of them went unanswered. They were both to her work phone and to her cell phone. But this is the one I really want to show everybody. She and Anthony Lazzaro are seen entering and walking around casually at a Blockbuster video store at 7:54 p.m. Kaylee is not with them. And here is the surveillance footage of her and her boyfriend at that Blockbuster at that time. I'm just gonna go ahead and put this out there. When I'm that sick that I have to lay down and I can't even feel somebody taking my daughter from me next to me while I'm laying down, supposedly, I don't normally go to Blockbuster that same night and just have the time of my life, and I definitely don't get, that's a little bit close. You're gonna get him sick too. Unless, of course, you weren't actually sick like you said you were. She wasn't ill that day, not even close. This is just one piece of the many that will be discussed in the next 31 days so that I can make sure that Casey Anthony is reminded that you're not advocating for nothing. Give me a follow. We'll see you during this series.
Okay, so he look like he about to do a whole breakdown on this TikTok. So hey, we gonna make sure we bring some clips on that regarding that from his channel. You wanna follow him? You want to follow? This is his TikTok right here.
The moment I knew Casey Anthony was guilty. If y'all don't remember this, y'all, if you were following the case since the very beginning, in 2008, Casey Anthony committed check fraud. This was 3 weeks after Kaylee went missing. And she was seen at a Target right here purchasing items on surveillance footage. She's purchasing Bud Light. She's purchasing clothing for herself, food, toilet paper, stuff like that. No diapers. Nothing for Kaylee. Mind you, this is when Kaylee was still actively missing. And Casey claims that she was looking for her daughter on her own. And this is where she commits check fraud. Now, this was used as evidence against her in court, but it was considered to be inadmissible. Even though, like I said, she had nothing on that belt for her daughter, no clothes, there was no sign of Kaylee. She didn't even look like she was distraught or anything like that. Mind you, her 3-year-old daughter was missing and nowhere to be found. Nothing in that cart suggested her looking for her. Also, y'all, a single hair was found in the trunk of the car that Casey was driving, and this hair had signs of post-mortem root banding. And that basically is where your hair forms a band on it after it starts decomposing. That represents that basically Casey had unalived Kaylee. Kaylee was in the trunk of the car for over 3 weeks. And then she disposed of her in a wooded area. Mind you, during this time, Casey was partying. She was buying Bud Light at Target, sleeping with all different kinds of men, and living her adult life the way she wanted to, not as a mother. She didn't ever want to have kids. That's why she hasn't even had kids since Kaylee went missing.
Well, that goes to show you that some people just don't have kids, man. And it's like she don't care at all. That's so messed up, man. For real. That's sad.
Hey, Casey Anthony. I heard you came back to social media. How about you turn those comments on, girly pop? We just want to talk.
Women's History Month is off to a horrible start because why does Casey Anthony have a TikTok?
For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself.
Mind you, this is the same lady who was accused of murdering her daughter back in 2008 after her daughter Kaylee Anthony's remains were found near her home. In July 2008, Casey's mom, Cindy, reported Kaylee as missing after not seeing her granddaughter in 31 days, and she tried asking Casey where Kaylee was but could not get a straight answer. Casey then said her daughter was abducted by the nanny and that she hadn't seen Kaylee in weeks, which is strange because during that time that her daughter was missing, she was out partying, having a good old time with her friends, and as it turns out, unsurprisingly, there never was a nanny to begin with, and that was all a lie. That was the first of many lies, actually, which is a whole separate video in itself. But in short, when she went on trial in 2011, Casey was actually acquitted. The only thing that she was charged with was lying to the police. That final verdict was met with outrage across the nation, as many people to this day do believe that Casey Anthony is guilty and deserves to be locked up for the rest of her life. Now she's trying to use social media to rebrand herself as a legal advocate. Apparently she's been in the legal field since 2011, since she went on trial for the thing. Yep, I feel like we're all being gaslit.
I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me and now look at as a blessing as opposed to the curse that it has been since 2008.
Now, she only has 2 posts under this account so far, with the comments turned off, of course. This is the screenshot she provided of her Substack. Do y'all see that repost? Talking about the internet is making us hate people we don't even know. Girl, what I do know is that people like Casey Anthony and that school Pew Pew or John Romano do not deserve platforms like this.
In my opinion, I feel like she should be locked up for the rest of her life too. Like, what is this? How is this even possible? And now she's trying to rebrand herself on TikTok. Like, that's not cool, bruh. What you did, that's beyond disgusting, for real. Your own too, at that, your own. Like, how can you get on the internet and not feel nothing? You don't feel no guilt, nothing?
I ain't even delusional. I am very aware of the insane things that I do.
What should we post that?
I'm okay with myself. I sleep pretty good at night.
I'm okay with myself. I sleep pretty good at night. How? Cindy does not rest. I do not rest. I don't get a restful night's sleep. I know she hasn't for years.
I don't give a about what anybody thinks about me. I don't care about that. I never will.
She's not to blame. In her mind, I bet she pushed everything out of her memory about Kaylee. That's why she says, I don't know what happened. She's in an alternate world now.
My name is Casey Anthony.
Not a single one of us want to hear from you. I don't know how you got here, but you need to be up out of here by 5 o'clock.
This beautiful little girl is Kaylee Anthony. She was 2 years old when her life was taken from her.
According to the prosecutor, according to the evidence, they believe that Casey had used chloroform to knock her baby out and then duct taped her nose and her mouth.
Casey has now joined TikTok to try to reinvent her image.
Yes, our justice system did fail this sweet little girl because Casey Anthony should be behind bars.
While her body was sitting there in the woods by herself in a bag, this was her mother. You were out getting tattoos while she was missing. You were out partying while she was missing. You're out partying now.
30 days, her daughter was missing and not a sign of remorse on her face while she was out partying with different men.
Jury still found her not guilty. Not only did she walk, not only did she get her freedom when she should have got the needle, now y'all want to make her famous?
It's bad enough that she's able to walk around free as if she didn't do shit. Do not give her a platform to monetize off of that child.
The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity.
Casey has kept her comments off on her account.
Go back to hiding in Florida.
I mean, I get why everybody's mad at her though. What she did, man. I mean, how could you not be mad, right? Upset. It's just you just know that's not right. What she's doing is not right.
Do some of y'all need a reminder on who Casey Anthony is? What Casey Anthony did? Let me jog your memory. This beautiful baby girl is Kaylee Anthony. She was 2 years old, almost 3, in June of 2008. On June 16th, Kaylee and her mom, Casey, left the Orlando house where they lived with her parents, George and Cindy. Casey told her mother that she was taking Kaylee to a nanny. She called this nanny Zanny. And guess what? Zanny did not exist. The next day after they left, Casey told her mom that her and Kaylee and this nanny were going on a work trip to Tampa. 30 days later, 30 days, Casey's car was found abandoned in Orlando. It was towed, and her daddy had to go get it out of the impound. When he got there, both George and the impound guy noted a strong smell of decomposition coming from Casey's trunk. So on July 15th, Cindy, Casey's mom, called 911, saying that she had not seen her granddaughter, Kaylee, in 31 days, and that her daughter's car smelled like dead bodies. And Casey, when she had been asked about where Kaylee was giving all these random excuses, coming up with all these different whereabouts of Kaylee. In other words, she lied through her motherfucking teeth before she finally admitted she had not seen her own daughter for weeks. After she realized that her mom called the cops, Casey called the cops. She tried to tell them that the nanny had kidnapped Kaylee on June 9th, but somehow she never called that in. On July 16th, Casey was arrested. They gave her more than enough chances to tell the truth before she was put in handcuffs. She was still claiming she'd left Kaylee with this nanny and that she'd gone to work at Universal Studios. All of this was lies. So the police made Casey take them to her job, and she actually took them there. They all went to Universal Studios where she was claiming to work. And it was only when they got there that Casey admitted that she didn't work there. She hadn't worked there in 3 years, since before her maternity leave. But she was going to stick with that lie all the way. So on October 14th, 2008, Casey was indicted on first-degree murder charges. At this point, Kaylee had still not been found. But then, on December 11th, 2008, this baby's skeletal remains were found in a wooded area less than a mile away from the Anthony home. This baby had been hidden in a plastic bag that was inside a canvas laundry bag and stuck behind a rotting log. And Kaylee still had duct tape attached to her face and her hair. Please, let that sink in for just a freaking second. The medical examiner found that her cause of death was, quote, homicide by undetermined means. According to the prosecutor, according to the evidence, they believed that Casey had used chloroform to knock her baby out and then duct taped her nose and her mouth. She did this because Casey Anthony did not want to be a mother. She killed her daughter, her baby. But after Kaylee was found, Casey tried to switch her story up. She tried to say that Kaylee accidentally drowned in the family pool and that her dad had helped her cover it up and hide the body. But when that wasn't really working, because the medical examiner made it very clear that there was no way this was an accidental death, she still had duct tape on her. Casey tried to say that her dad abused her and Kaylee, and basically that George did it. But that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard, because searches of Casey's phone and her computer had Google searches for how to make chloroform, how to break a neck. And the investigators noted that Casey never showed remorse. Never. And that through every interview, all she ever talked about was herself. Not her missing daughter at the time, but all the things she wanted to do. How she wanted to be a personal trainer. She had dreams and goals. But here's what has always gotten me, and what clearly some of you have forgotten. While Kaylee was missing, while her body was sitting there in the woods by herself in a bag, this was her mother. This is Casey partying her ass off the whole time. Does this look like a woman whose 2-year-old daughter is missing? Yet somehow, and I will never get over this, I remember watching it when it happened and crying. The jury still found her not guilty. Not only did she walk, not only did she get her freedom when she should have got the needle, now y'all want to make her famous? Now y'all want to give this woman a platform? I don't know why I'm surprised, because y'all already did this dumb shit with Gypsy Rose. I guess y'all want to glorify women who kill their mothers and their daughters? Is that what we're doing now? Like, she already didn't murder her baby girl and get away with it. Now y'all want to make her rich? I can't. I'm normally a live and let live type of person. I really don't care what other people do. But in this case, if you are one of Casey Anthony's new 32,000 followers, please see yourself the fuck off my page, okay? I'm gonna need y'all to remember her face every time y'all get curious enough to go listen to Casey Anthony's bullshit. Dude.
I love how everybody is like, you know, getting on her case though, because come on. Now, like, if she should have just stayed hiding. In my opinion, I would like, come on, like, you just shouldn't even be on the internet. Just stop. Lady, you did what you did, live with it. Man, all I can say is I would tell her, just stay off the internet, because that right there is not a good look at all. That look, she making herself look more worse, right?
The answer is no. No. We don't want you here, girl. No, find your way out. Because we haven't forgotten that baby. Yeah, no, many videos? No, you're not. You're not. Not if we can help it. Because this community, we're pro-children. If one of our children goes missing, we're not going to wait 30 days to report it. We're not going to go party either. God forbid one of my kids goes out missing. The last thing I would want to do is go partying. But not you, obviously. Unless of course, you're going to come clean. Are you going to come clean? Are you going to confess? You know, to calm your anxieties, make peace with God? If that's the case, we're all open ears. We're going to mass follow you. But if you're going to come in this app and play like nothing has ever happened, no. The answer is no. We took a vote. The answer is no. We need more time. 2, 3, 4 decades. Yeah. So, yeah, no. We don't want to know what you're doing with your life. We don't want to know the self-improvement. We don't care. Actually, we don't care. Go find another app, but not this one. Not this community. We're not going to have it. Good luck, though.
Casey Anthony is threatening to sue us all now. Look at this. Pause it if you want to read the whole thing. They are just railing her in the comments.
Casey Anthony making her second return to social media shocked me because it did not go over so well the first time. If you don't remember, back in 2011, she started this video diaries and was ran off the internet. But since Casey has made her arrival, I just wanted to ask a few questions. On June 16th, 2008, you and Kaylee left your parents' house and you told your parents you were going to stay with the nanny, Zanny. Which is very interesting because a few hours later, you're seen at Blockbuster with Tony and he described hanging out with you during this time as you having a grand old time. You went, you stayed with him. Where was Kaylee? 2 days after the last time anyone saw Kaylee, you went to your neighbor's house and asked for a shovel. And I've always wondered what you needed it for. 4 days after the last time we saw Kaylee and you were doing hot body contests. I can just see the grief on your face. It's palpable. 2 weeks later, you go to the tattoo parlor. The tattoo artist asked where Kaylee was because he knew her. So I don't even have to ask you this question because you answered him and said that she was with the nanny. And then you got a tattoo that means the beautiful life. When in all actuality at this time, you knew that Kaylee wasn't with the nanny. So where was she? Oh, and let's not forget the shopping sprees you went on your friend's dime, except for your friend didn't know that they were paying for it. Because going on shopping sprees while stealing from people I supposedly love is exactly what I would do when my child's missing. One thing I've always wanted to know is how long you were going to keep up this charade had you not been caught. Because 31 days after Kaylee was gone, everything blew up. You, being the responsible person you were, left your vehicle somewhere and so your parents had to go pick it up. This was after you ran out of gas and left your car multiple times. So your parents go and pick up your car and George, who was a police officer, he smells the non-forgettable scent of human decomposition. And then your mom sees Kaylee's favorite toy and her car seat in the vehicle. So your parents immediately thought, oh my God, something happened to Casey and Kaylee. And they were half right. And if you don't trust George's experiences or thoughts, when they took this car to the CSI lab, the people who worked there also said that they smelled human decomp. People whose job is literally around that constantly. And that's immediately what they smell before they even opened your car door. So you then take the cops on this endless goose chase, and that's when they started looking at you as a suspect. And then you sent Tony a text message I have literally never forgotten. You said, if they don't find her, they will blame me and I will spend eternity in jail. You didn't say, oh my God, I hope they find her. I can't believe this is happening. I should have reported it sooner. I was just trying to keep her safe. Just some sort of excuse. No. You didn't do any of that. Same thing with the jail phone calls where you were constantly saying, my life is being ruined. I'm stuck in here. Never, oh my God, I miss my daughter. This daughter. And you're saying in your videos now you want to be the voice for the voiceless. This is where you need to start. And I've also always been curious how embarrassed you were when you told the police you worked at Universal, so they took you down there to prove your employment. You talk to the first person there and you say, yes, I do work here. Like, I know I work here. So they say, oh, go talk to HR. You go to HR with the police and you sat there and waved at other employees like you knew them. I have secondhand embarrassment from just hearing about this story. But it probably didn't faze you because you have no shame. My opinion on that is proven by you coming back to social media to support the voiceless. Most of the world still remembers Kaylee, and for the people who have forgotten or just don't know yet, I hope they see every single video that's been made about you. It is not right that you can just come back and be this advocate who is advocating for Kaylee. I will never forget, and I'll make sure as many people as I can reach don't either.
While we're all collectively getting on the same page about Casey Anthony showing her face on social media, you guys do know that this isn't the first time she's done this, right? 3 months after she was found not guilty, she recorded this video diary and uploaded it to YouTube on October 13th of 2011. This video almost the exact same way that she talks in the video she uploaded on TikTok, saying that this is one of many that she's gonna upload. However, she did not upload another video after this, and that's because she left the comment section on that time. Well, not only was she the most hated mom in America, but the entire country was jumping people at gas stations who even resembled her. If you weren't already infuriated about her showing her face now and using Kaylee's name to get the clout to do it, then after you watch this video where I clipped all of the YouTube comments in for your own entertainment, you will be. Because just weeks after fighting for her literal life in a death penalty trial for her own daughter, she gets out and posts this video diary log and doesn't mention her daughter not one time, but seems absolutely unfazed by everything that just happened to her. The internet didn't let her come back in 2011, and it's not letting her come back in 2025.
So this is my first video diary. It is October 13th, which is a Thursday, 2011. And I'm just starting to figure out my new computer, and I don't know, I guess I'm liking it so far. It's obviously a different ballgame for me because I've never used this before. So I guess these will be as tedious as my audio recordings have been. I guess to start off this one, just a few updates from the last few days. There really hasn't been all too much going on except now for this. And I'm extremely excited. I'm extremely excited that I'll be able to Skype and obviously keep a video log, take some pictures, and then I have something that I can finally call mine. I don't know.
3 months.
It's been a long time since I've been able to call something mine, and now that I have something even, as silly as saying that I have a computer and a camera and a phone, granted, I wouldn't have the phone without. And I've actually now paid for my own computer. The camera was a gift, but these are things that are mine that I don't have to, that I don't have to give back. It's kind of nice finally being able to say that I have some belongings that are mine that I'll be able to take with me after I leave here next year. It's kind of funny to think about, actually. I know it's going to be a while since I leave. I'll be here for many, many months more, even if I'm only here for 6 months. Even if I get off probation early, I'll still be here at least until February, the end of February. 7 months, March, my birthday. It's just either way. Whether it's 6 months or it's a year from now or a year from the middle of August. I don't know. This has just been such a blessing in so many ways.
A blessing.
And now I in some ways have someone to talk to even when I'm by myself, so I'm not bothering the poor dog. Who I've adopted and I love. And he's as much my dog as any of the other pets I've ever had. The families I've ever had, if not more so. So, I don't know. I don't know whether to look directly at myself or look up or... Oh, man. I don't know. Just a little surreal how much things have changed since July and how many things haven't changed. But the good thing is that things are starting to look up and things are starting to change in a good way. Just hope they stay, that things stay good and that they only get better.
Not one time did she say Kaylee's name. Not once.
They'll only get better. So this is the end of my first video log. I'll probably do another one later. Maybe I'll bring the dog. Who knows? But this is, again, the first of many. And I'm looking forward to this.
It was not.
It's a little scary because I hate being on camera,
Good.
but
Stay off of it.
I don't know.
We hate seeing you.
I need to conquer that fear at some point. This is a good start. So, here's hoping.
This is crazy, man. So you telling me she been doing this? This ain't nothing new. This like she been doing this. Man, this lady is something else. That's all I'm gonna say. She is something else for real. She's crazy, man. Crazy.
Not a single one of us want to hear from you, Casey Anthony. Not a single one of us want to hear from you, see your face, subscribe to your Substack. Go back to wherever you were hiding in Florida. Nobody wants to hear from you. I cannot believe you just got on this app to advertise that you'll be telling your story, personal and professional, because you're a legal advocate out here fighting for people. Legal advocates are a gift to this world. You are not, in my opinion, of course, but a lot of other opinions as well. This is not the only video like this right now on TikTok because nobody wants to hear from or see this woman on their For You page. If you disagree, go ahead and put it in the comments. We can definitely talk about it. But as far as I'm aware, as far as my people are saying, we want none of this. We don't care what you have to say. We all believe you got away with taking the life of your daughter so that you could live a bella vita. You could live a beautiful life without being restrained by Kaylee, your daughter. So we will continue talking about and honoring Kaylee, who was absolutely a gift to this earth before she was stolen off of it by America's most hated mother. It's bad enough we have people on here like Brie Olson and Ashley Trevino and Diaper Mom, 17 Diapers Mom, and Ham Sandwich Mom. You're not going to get by. This is beyond that. Those may be in a bad moms category, but you are their king, right? You take the cake. Go away. And rest in peace to your beautiful daughter, who deserved so much more than you.
30 days, her daughter was missing and not a sign of remorse on her face while she was out partying with different men. 30 days, her daughter was missing, and she did not ask any questions about where she was and lied about the fact that she was with a nanny. And now, all these years later, this woman is trying to come back in the social scene saying that she is in the legal field, she wants to help people, she wants to advocate for her daughter. Fuck that shit. Casey Anthony, you tried it in 2011 and everybody shut you the fuck down. And now you're on this app trying to make money off of your poor baby who is no longer with us. The only reason people know who you are is because of your poor baby. And now you want to be on this app promoting your Substack and you want to try to make money. And the sickest part, the absolute sickest part, is the fact that you have almost 20,000 followers now. You see, Gypsy Rose, I do not agree with, but I at least get to an extent. Again, never acceptable to take someone's life. And of course, innocent until proven guilty, however your actions say otherwise. The mere fact that TikTok wants to ban our comments and ban our accounts for saying something remotely insulting, and yet you are just allowed freely on this app, is completely and utterly unacceptable. I really hope the people here on social media make it a point to cancel you before you even begin. Because truthfully, this app does not want you here.
Hey, Casey Anthony, guess what? We're digging a nice big ass hole for you right here. We just kind of want to see if you would get in it and measure for us. Make sure it's just the right depth for what we're looking for.
Hey, alright, I had enough. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and end it off right there. As y'all can see, everybody on TikTok is, hey, they on her case, man. And I see why though. I see why now. I got a better understanding of why now. I hope you guys got a better understanding too, watching this video with me. Just be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you are new. And if you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe, man, so you can see more videos like this. But that is going to do it for today's video. And hey, if you want me to do a part 2 and some more information coming out, I'll make sure I do that too. So I might do another part 2. I might do a part 2. Just stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in the next upload. Peace.
Really you on my mind. It's really you.